Hey guys, me again. Finished the books from I showed in one of my last videos. Not the last video, but the second to last one. Asking what kind of genre they were. Still don't really know too much like this genre. I know like the kind of like general fiction, just not kind of like the types kind of thing. Whereas I have got my three favourite ones here. The first one which was like the first one I read, which really made like really felt was heartwarming, like the Second Chance Convenience Store by Kim Ho Yeon. Please let me know if I'm saying that correctly. I just found it kind of like heartwarming because it's like Go. It's kind of like Go a little bit. Like you don't find out a lot about who he is as a person. Not necessarily who he is as a person, like the memories of like who he was. As it's like he was kind of like an alcoholic, and he was kind of like an alcoholic had become homeless because it's like he had been a doctor, and it's like someone had died while in his care, and it scarred him a little bit. And it's like despite that, he finds like this wallet, calls like the number, and it's like Missy, and it's a Miss Yeon. And it's like who retired as a teacher, but in her retirement she opened up like a convenience store. And I think over here it's like a corner shop. And it's why I think they kind of got into a bit of a conversation, but a little while later, I think like days and what have you passed, there's kind of like drunk students outside a shop. It's like, it's a 24-hour convenience shop store type thing. And it's like he Go gets him gone. Helps out with that. It's like she offers him a job with like the graveyard shift, like in the middle of the night, because it's why I think she just lost one person, and it's like I'd been covering that shift. And it's like I offered the job to him, which he does take. But it's why I think she has a son, and it's why I think like it doesn't like wants her to sell the shop and like go into like retirement and what have you. But it's why I think he's the one that is like wants quite like a decent job, became like a thing, tried making a film, tried this other job, and it's why it didn't get anywhere with it. Because it's why I think he wants her to get like sell the shop, go into retirement, and then like invest in him, like in whatever project he has next. Whereas I think he like hires like a private detective type thing. To try and find out like who is this person and like what's he done, like what's going on, because this way he does not remember a thing. And it's like I think after all he does reveal quit the job. But it's like you find out he's was trained as like a doctor. His brother may have been like the same as like the son maybe. Like it was like a, I can't say not good for nothing, but his, like, what he wanted to do was maybe a little misplaced kind of thing. And it's like at the end of it, it's like which I really liked, like, yeah, despite quitting, like he went to where his like his wife, like maybe an ex-wife by that point and child were living, to like maybe try and reconnect. And by this time, like you have like the backdrop of like COVID, which is like, thank God we've kind of like, I want to say it's kind of like not as much of a thing, if it is still a thing. Because it's why, yeah, in the kind of like past few months, it's like norovirus has been a thing. Because it's like, I'm a ward-based volunteer, like I couldn't go onto like the wards. So, like, or at least one of them. Because it's why, yeah, they're kind of like all shut because of norovirus. It's like, it kind of brings back memories of COVID a little bit. So like I kind of like remember a little bit like, yeah, it's an inconvenience, like, and you're worried about this and that kind of thing. So it's like I kind of have that to maybe think about recently. But it's like I read this one as well, and it's like The Cats Who Saved the Library by Suzuki Natsukawa. And I hope I said that well as well. It's like, I quite like that ginger little cat on the front. You get like the full thing on like the back, which I kind of find like, it looks so cute. But it's kind of like, yeah, kind of like that. It's like it's a fantasy, and you kind of like it takes you in and out of like reality kind of thing. To like this fantasy place where this and that is happening, and then it's like I really enjoyed it. Not sure if like with these two, like part of me is like a Raven or Crow or whatever is like, I'm kind of like drawn to like the gold and the shiny parts of it maybe. It's like I kind of like yeah, the casual, like well-meaning, and yeah. When like, yeah, the next one is this one, Dinner at the Night Library by Hika Harada. And it's like, yeah, you follow Otoha Higuchi. Actually, she takes on a job at like, yeah, this unnamed like bookshop or whatever it is, like that's just called like the Night Library. That's just like known as like the Night Library. But it's like, yeah, you got another ginger cat like up here on the roof. I think it's kind of like one of those, like, yeah, I first saw in like, it was like the Waterstones in Stockport, as that's like my nearest one. And it's like, kind of follows her as she takes on a job at like, yeah, the night library, and it's like learns that like, yeah, although this may seem a little strange, they actually go together. Because it's like, yeah, especially with like food and what have you. And it's like, let's say almost like teenage adolescence, like young adulthood, like where you're still trying to learn that, like understand like those emotions, like where you stand. And it's like you kind of have like that dialogue where, like, yeah, she's one of the younger ones, and like, yeah, everyone else is like everyone's kind of older than her. And it's like, so it's like, this is a bit before you. But it's like, yeah, I quite like it. Which I, yeah, quite like, because it's like you kind of like learn to take it all in your stride in a way. Which I, yeah, as I was reading it, for some reason I was like reminded of this one, like the bookstore girls by Kate. I don't know. And it's why I read it like October last year. And it's why I think it was like one of those hospital reads, because it's why, yeah, I do also have health problems. I don't want to go into it here. As it's why it follows, yeah, Riko Nishioka, who's kind of like the assistant manager, and Aki Kitamura, who through her connections is able to get a job there and stays on despite being married. Because apparently, like, yeah, when you're married, like, the woman's kind of like supposed to take a step back and look after like the house or something like that, from what I remember in it. And it's like it kind of follows the pair of them and like the rest of the team in like this bookshop. And this way it's kind of maybe failing a little bit. Like by partly feel like, yeah, by now, like, yeah, it's failing. Like not failing, like it's losing money. And it's why they're trying to come up with ways to maybe save it. But it's like Riko and Aki don't get along. But it's like it's kind of like through it, like you follow them as it's why they slowly learn to maybe get along, not necessarily become friends, and to kind of like come up with ideas of maybe keeping this shop alive. And it's why, yeah, kind of like shake each other off, and by the end of the book, like, yeah, like management of like, yeah, this publishing house who owns the shop and employs all of them. Like Riko was promoted to like manager because like the person who was the manager was kind of maybe promoted. But it's like those higher ups kind of look down on like Riko and blame Riko for the bookshop close, like bleeding money and what have you, to an extent. And it's like looking down on like women. But it's why the bookshop closed, and it's why the guy that went on to like say that one step up into like out of the shop into like management. It's like I think he eventually leaves or whatever, and it's like it kind of ends on like a bittersweet moment where it's like they're all sat having a meal together, which like talking about like reminiscing a little bit of like, yeah, we liked this and enjoyed this, but it's like if management aren't willing to maybe see like the error of their own ways a little bit, like maybe see like the part of like a part of the problem, if not the problem, then it's a bit like, why should we work there? And it kind of like almost seemed like a little relieved to have left, maybe. But it's sort of like, I don't know if it's kind of like one of those things with like Japanese, like some of like the Japanese books, and there's always like a cat in cover, on the covers of them. Like this one, like yeah, there's this blue one here. And it's like it goes a little green in the shadows. I'm not sure if you can maybe be able to see it just a little bit on the camera. But it's like if you turn on, like yeah, these two aren't here. But it's like the cat's still there in like the same position. But so yeah, quite. Well, it's like it's one of those like when you sit down. I quite enjoyed it. It's like, and when you sat for hours on end in like the emergency department of the local hospital, because it's like I've always got a book in my bag for such a time. So yeah, well, it's like yeah, that's this one. I've enjoyed these books, and I shall hopefully see you next time. Bye for now, and I'll see you later.